It's really starting to feel like summer lately. I've had to unbutton 2 buttons. Look, that's how you know it's summer. Why are all those women running away from me over there? Back to being busy today. I've got 2 jobs and I'm also working this evening, but I'll tell you a little bit more about that later on. But as for now, I've got 2 houses, well, 1.5. I've basically got 1 full job and I've got to do a quick pickup on a front elevation because most estate agents will want you to get a nice blue sky shot of the front, and it also helps if there's a bit of light on the front elevation as well. So I've had to wait for an afternoon and a blue sky, so I've had to wait, and I've already done all the photos for that one, so I'm just returning to that one. So let's head off to the first one. Right, I've just arrived at my next house and looking at the sky, it's patchy sunshine. Oh no, I think I'm going to be okay. No, I think I'm going to be alright. I was a bit worried because it clouded over a minute ago. It is cloudy sunshine, patchy sunshine all day, which is, you know, obviously hit and miss. So, time to just photograph the front shot and then we can go home. So the whole reason I've come back in the first place is because the agent likes blue skies in the photos. He thinks that you should have, you know, sunny days on your front elevations. So that's the reason I've come back. But the problem is that when the sun is as high as it is, it's really difficult to get a good shot because obviously that sunlight is very harsh. It makes the clouds go a really bleached white colour, so you get that overexposed look in your clouds. So what I might have to do is just keep the shot from today, but Photoshop in one of my more softer, bluer skies and see if I can get away with that. Because I haven't done that to this client yet. I haven't given them a Photoshopped blue sky yet. Anyway, so it's time to go back. And got another adventure tonight. I'm photographing some theatre. So let's hit the road. By the way, it feels like Miami today. It's so hot. It's so hot, another button's been undone. Form an orderly queue, ladies. So I'm just importing all my shots from today. And while I wait, because this is going to be a little while I think, I'm going to catch up with my YouTubers. always look twice before you export your images, especially in property, because I was just about to export this image until I found this little character. Totally didn't see the cat. But luckily I took a backup. I always take 5 or 6 of each angle. It's a good job I realised, isn't it? Good job I found it. Anyway, got to get that sorted, and then we're going to hit the road to Stratford.
Seems to me, girl, you know I've done all I can. Know it sounds funny, but I just can't stand the pain. Seems to me, girl, you know I've done all I can. Know it sounds funny, but I just can't stand the pain. Seems to me, girl, you know I've done all I can. Know it sounds funny, but I just can't stand the pain. Seems to me, girl, you know I've done all I can. Know it sounds funny, but I just can't stand the pain. Seems to me, girl, you know I've done all I can. Know it sounds funny, but I just can't stand the pain.
So we've just arrived in Stratford, and the light is magnificent, isn't it? It's really nice. So it's about 7:30, and these couple of hours before the sun sets at about 9, half 9 these days. There's like golden hours instead of one golden hour. But anyway, so we're just about to go into the theatre. Tonight is a dress rehearsal for the theatre company. So my job, it might be a bit stop-start, so I'm not sure, but I'm going to try and film as much as I can when I'm in there. Well, I won't be able to talk to camera when I'm in there, so I will flash a few photos up on screen that I think are any good. And I'm going to try something new tonight. I'm going to shoot in shutter priority mode. I'm going to set my shutter speed at 100th of a second, and I'm going to use auto ISO. Now the reason for that is because I know that the camera will give me an accurate exposure. There's so many different light spots and etc, etc, etc. So I'm going to give that a go tonight, and if it doesn't work, then I can always go fully manual. So let's see what happens.
What is happening,
So that was a nice little easy gig. So we're on the way back to the car now, but what I decided to do in the end was I didn't do the auto ISO thing. I did it and I realised that it kept putting me at ISO 3200 and 6400, and it's just way too high and it was too grainy. So what I did was instead I just set my ISO 1000, and I was in fully manual at 1.8, and I just altered my shutter speed, so it kind of alternated between 100th of a second and 500th of a second, something like that. So now it's back home because I've got to get these photos back to the client before they go live, which is tomorrow. So that means I've got to go home and get on the computer and get the images back. But that's easy because I can just do a batch edit and delete as I go. I've taken about 300 pictures and I'm going to narrow that down to about 60. So time to go. It could be cheesy. We always get cheesy chips when we come to Stratford. All it takes is for one of us just to say one item of fast food and the other one goes, You alright?
Alright.
So it looks like we're having cheesy chips. Diet starts Monday. What day is it? Monday. So I'm back home now. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to import them. I'm going to add them to a collection and I'm going to delete as I go. So then I'll be left with the best shots essentially. And then from then I'll edit one and I'll batch edit them. And then I'll look through them all before I export them. Double check that nothing is, the edit hasn't ruined some of the raw images. Get them exported, get them sent back. And then we're finished. So it's been a bit of a hectic day. But one thing that I was thinking about on the way home was I've had a few comments about, you know, my property photography, about thinking, people just saying, well, why don't you just do HDR every time rather than use a flash? The point is, I take, on average, 200 photos a day minimum. So my computer has to deal with a lot of images. So I want to try and get it right in camera as much as possible to avoid spending time in this seat with this view when I could be anywhere else, watching TV, up a mountain. So that's the point. Get it right in camera. If you can do that, then it saves you time on the computer. Everybody loves Photoshop and Lightroom because yes, it makes our dreams come true. But at the end of the day, you're just behind a computer when you're not going to be doing fun stuff. So that's just what I wanted to say about that. So thanks for watching once again, and I'll see you on the next video. I don't know why I do that little click. I can't really get it. I'm not as cool as other vloggers. Anyway, see you soon. Love you. Do you want a little kiss? That was weird. I won't do that again.
La 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 la.